Hello! When we think greatness, many names come across our minds. Some would think Dave Chappelle, Jackie Chan, Will Smith, William Shatner. Others, Ali, Floyd Mayweather, Mike Tyson, Neil deGrasse Tyson. There are many shades to greatness, but in this segment we'll be focusing on the most majestic displays that will be caught on film. Thank you for joining me as we take a closer glance.
Get ready for me. First with the jab, chest jab, and then you can do whatever you want. Believe in yourself, brother. Let's go.
Not on your level.
Let's go. Let's go.
Not on your level.
Let's go.
Head movement. Head movement. Head movement. Head movement. Head movement. Head movement. Yes, move. Head up. Head up. Heads up. No. No. No.
Now, sporadic head movement, feinting with the hand, using it to gauge the opponent's reactions, using it to lull or throw your opponents off. It's something we do often see amongst the higher levels, but with Jimmy Smith, the man seemed to be throwing himself off instead. He looked like he was rocking himself off balance with this game. Clearly, he does not understand the purpose of what he's doing, or maybe he has just diluted his perception in what this is supposed to do. Thus, it seemed his own system was being overloaded by this act of working so hard, but doing so little. Here, look at this punch. Now, I don't believe anyone should ever just wing punches without setup, because the simple answer is, your opponent will see it coming, but even in the basic mechanics of a punch, Jimmy, he does not understand it. He did not pivot into a strike, and even in this unorthodox technique of slinging his arm back, he's not actually using his fascia. Now, even if this massively telegraphed strike landed, it probably would not have done so much damage because it was all generated from his pectoral, an arm punch, in essence. For a moment though, his game seemed to have worked. Doing his hand gestures, Jimmy, he lands around the side of his opponent, did not expect it. If he had better technique, it could have been a bigger problem for his opponent. That said, maybe there's more to this hidden art that meets the eye. Now here, he must have learned his forms studying the lost art of epilepsy. Here, transitioning to rain down Thor's hammer, knowing Jimmy would have a predictable pattern of advancing forward, the right straight was the perfect tool to intercept him. There is an advantage to this style in that, sure, it might be able to throw your opponents off guard because it's so random, but it's virtually neutralized by an opponent who remains calm, sticking to a more simple, practical approach. In this segment, the fighter truly looks majestic moving on his feet, but as he strikes, we notice there is no real oomph or threat from his hands. He has a tendency of pulling or avoiding strikes at the same time he throws his shot. Now, of course, you can have evasive movement built into your attack, of course, but that's not what this man is doing. There seems to be an incongruence in what he's trying to do. He wants to attack, but he's afraid of being in range to get hit. It's like he's poking at his opponent with a stick from afar to test the waters. There's no real power. That is the result. Also, this person has a tendency of holding his arm out and throwing his shot from the pectoral. He first pauses, oddly, and then punches. Again, it's an arm strike. All of these shots are very easy to see coming, and it's why boxing coaches tell you to keep your shots tight, They're too easy to react to otherwise. That's what we are seeing here. His much smaller opponents see everything coming and meets a shot with a cleaner one. Slick pull counter, it was just too easy. Like he's sitting on his couch watching TV. I bet landing this follow from here was very gratifying. Overall, the man was not taught how to throw a straight punch, let alone proper form of an effective one. The lead counter was an easy tool, exploiting this style.
Shadow. He says he's developed this new fighting system where he can dodge punches.
Even from Insane Zane here, huh?
Oh, anybody. He says he's trained by doing light jogging, he does weightlifting, he does hiking, he meditates, and he dodges cars at busy intersections.
Just thinking about his training regimen is hilarious. It sounds similar to what Saitama would have done, minus developing actual superpowers. The biggest issue here is the fact he keeps looking away from his opponent. Unless you're Canelo Alvarez, this tactic is as risky as one can get. The outcome, it was obvious. He would take shots for free, unable to shadow phantom what he could not see. When the ref gave him a warning, it turned out you can't just be a shadow. Throwing some punches is part of this game too. That's where the shadow phantom was truly foiled. You can't hit what's not there, or can you? But back to the point, what's not there can't hit you. In this case, it was actual striking technique. What a display of greatness. I guess this concludes this segment. If you'd like me to break down more Impractical Fighters, I'd be happy to do so. If you'd like more from me, please subscribe and hit the notification bell. Thank you if you did. Arigatou gozaimasu, gracias, merci beaucoup. Smash that like button if you enjoyed. It's good karma, and until next time, peace.